자, 오늘 할 게임은 셜록 홈즈 크라임 앤 퍼니시먼트입니다. 자, 새로 하도록 할게요. 이거 캡처하고 싶다. 그걸로. 아이, 그거 아니라서 캡처하기 어렵네. 됐다. 시작! 떠나간 우크라이나인들을 기리면서 뭐지? 내 나이가 어때서요? 나이가 많다니 이럴 수가. 내 나이를 걸고 넘어지다니. 당신들은 나이 안 먹을 줄 알아? 누나라고 불러도 되냐고요? 뭐 상관없죠, 누나. 이럴 수. 가자. 나 바로. 네. 아니, 막힌 타이밍. 나는 바로 셜록 누.
Holmes.
뭐 하는데?
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
힘찬 발걸음 뭐야? 딸랑거리는 수가. 경찰.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
머리 왜
Oh,
이래?
Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't
되게
find a better use
번쩍거리네.
for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune.
아, 수직 동기화
He
켜야 되나?
invested his money
아,
in a property called Woodman's
되게
Leap
번쩍거리네.
near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years and where he was found dead.
한직의 별장을 사들이고 6년 동안 거기서
Has the
거주했고
investigation
죽었대요.
already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious.
나보고
I would
오라가라.
prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
탭으로 사건 수첩을 펼쳐서 업무 및 증거 진행 등의 상황을 확인하래요. 어우씨 뭐야? 이렇게 탭. 이 사람이 블랙피터인 피터 캐리인가 봐요. 피해자의 양력. 피터 캐리는 블랙피터라는 별명을 가지고 있다. 1845년 출생하였으며 현재는 50살이다. 스칸디나비아에서 고래잡이로 큰 돈을 벌었으며 1884년에 은퇴했다. 그 후로 산직의 별장에서 머물렀다. 그리고 피터 캐리의 살인사건 조사, 산직의 별장에서 사건 현상 조사, 요장에서 정자를 꺼내있고 산직의 별장에서 레스트레이드 경감과 만나라. 베이커가를 방문한 레스트레이드 경감은 홈즈에게 블랙피터라고 불리는 전직 선장이 끔찍하게 살해된 사건을 자문해달라고 부탁했다. 베이커가하고 산직의 별장.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
어허. 이렇게 가는 건가? 이거 수직 동기 해야겠는데? 뭐야? 이거밖에 안 돼? 아씨. 어떻게 이럴 수가 있지? 이렇게 번쩍거리냐? 미쳤나봐.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
조사하기는 어떻게 눌러야 돼? 이거 키를 어떻게 눌러야 되는 거지? 이게 번쩍번쩍거려? 미쳤나봐. 잠깐만요. 메인 메뉴 갔다가 다시 올게요. 너무 번쩍거려서 어떻게 할 수가 없네. 아니 꼭 공격 여기 감막값 조작법을 봐야겠다. QW ASD RT 함정으로서 제외 사건 처리와 상상력 펼치기 F 1인칭 3인칭 10점 추리 영역 펼치기 인물 바꾸기 도움말 걷기 달리기. 아하 F1 일단 가. 일단 고고. 아까 읽었던 거 현직의 별장은 저기 있고 증거 현재 50살 고래자 옷장으로 가라고 정장으로 갈아입으라고 했으니 정장을 갈아입어야겠지. 이제 덜 번쩍거리나? 아직 번쩍거리네.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
아니 근데 지금 복장이었던 거. 여기 왓슨의 방이잖아.
My archive. I can always consult with it if. This is where I keep my post. This is where I keep my post.
옷을 뭐 입으라는 거야? 아 너무 힘드네.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
씨, 아직 조사를 못한 게 많구만.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
아 이거 패드로 해야겠는데? 아야야야 어쩔 수 없다. 패드 없나?
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
어. 아. 아. 눈이 썩을 것 같아.
My analysis.
조사 일일이 이렇게 다 해야 되는 건가? 씨, 옷을 갈아입으라며. 옷 갈아입. 아, 내 방에서. 옷장. 정장. 녹색 정장은 뭐야? 녹색 정장 좋은데. 아, 변장도 할 수 있네. 머리. 근데 뭐 필요 없고. 와. 딱 하면은 멀미 나겠는걸? 사건 수첩. 어. 와, 대화가도 다. 대화도 다 이렇게 되네요. 인물 묘사. 신기하구만. 엄지손가락을 쓰지 않는 선에서 패드를 움직이겠어요. 아씨, 화장실 갔다 오고 싶은데.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you.
화장실 좀 갔다 올게요.
introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
제가 왔습니다. 아씨 물 흘려가지고 좀 닦느냐고 걸렸어요. 세상에 물을 흘림. 그날 밤 수상한 행적, 시체 발견 정원사가 있나? 물어보라는 건가? 화장실 갔다 오냐고 저거 못 들었는데. 일단 해봐. 그냥. 이거 어떻게 하라는 거야? A 뒤로. 아이고. 다시.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
계속 물어봐야 되는구나. 진짜 이제 신문하는 것처럼?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open. But I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
어떻게 선택하는 거야?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand.
저게
The
맞나?
shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How
맞았어?
extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
어디 가야 되지 그럼?
seems that the garden was well maintained.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
안에 들어가면 되나? 아, 이제 들어갈 수 있구나. 저 사람한테 말 걸어야
The
들어갈 수
door is
있네.
locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
이렇게 해서 증거를 찾으라는 건가?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
발자국. 그래도 시간 타임 있는 게 아니네.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Now, a mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
뭘 찾으라는 거야? 어? 이건 왜 이렇게 자국이 나 있지? 그냥 열어도 되는 거였네.
What a terrible way to die.
어허. 스마트폰 같은 게 떨어져 있고 정체이구나.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
독실한 신자래.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Someone drank from this glass recently.
유리잔 왜 이렇게 더러워?
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
어떻게 하는 거야 이거? 어떻게 움직이는 거야? 개 어려워. 끌기밖에 안 돼. 이거 어떻게 하라는 거야? 어. 아 이거 어떻게 움직이라는 거야? 이거 움직이라는 거 아니야? 어떻게 움직여? 어떻게 맞추는 건지 모르겠어. 어떻게 하라는 거야? 회전을 시켜. 어? 뭐야? 밖에 안 되는데 어떻게 하라는 거야? 이거? 이거 맞춰야 되는 거 아닌가? 근데 아직 내가 다시 해야겠고. 뭔가
Right.
단서를
It seemed that Captain Carey was
얻기
enjoying
전까지는
a
하기
drink
어려울
before
것
he
같아.
met his death.
내가 다시 하고.
The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack. The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
이거밖에 없는데? 응? 이상한 빈 공간.
This place is not covered with dust. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. The tooth. This place is an object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
뭐야? 왜 안 옮겨져?
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book,
뭐야 안
a
옮겨져?
box or a small chest, perhaps.
뭐야?
Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map.
방해할지 안 이러고 보는 거야?
Hmm. The
어?
old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
없네. 다시 가야겠군.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
아니 왜 다른 거는 안 움직여지고 왜 이것만 움직여지냐? 뭐야 이거 어떻게 해야 되는 거야? 건너뛰기가 있네. 이거랑 건너뛰기 아니요. 건너뛰기를 하면 안 되네. 무슨 향기인지 맞춰야 되는구나. 움직일 수 있는 애가 얘네밖에 없는데 어떻게 움직이라는 거지? 뭔지 모르겠어요. 어? 뭔가? 어떻게 맞춰야 되는 거야 이걸? 이렇게인가? 이거 이렇게밖에 안 되는데. 아니 왜 이건 안 돼? 왜 안 돼? 어떻게 하라는 거야 이거? 어떻게 맞추라는 것인가? 알 수가 없다. 처번에 맞춰 보이게 되는 아 이렇게 맞추라는 건가? 뭔가? 어디야? 아, 아, 너랑 이게 어디지? 아 이렇게 맞추는 건가? 이게 어디에 가야 되니? 아 저게 끝에? 이렇게인가? 오케이. 오? 됐다. 이건가? 됐다.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
뭐야 탭인가? 탭. 네. 오케이. 신문할 수 있는 걸 찾았어. 가서 물어봐야겠구만.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
신문할 게 없는데.
Old navigate. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
뭐란 얘기야?
Have you finished?
Mr. Holmes?
이 사람밖에 없네.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
Peter carries boots. They look to be a size 8. These boots don't match the footprints.
저렇게 확인을 하다니.
Have you finished?
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
쉽지 않구만.
Who could do such?
어떻게 하라는 거지?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Mr. Holmes?
볼 데가 없는데.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
끝이네. 아, 씨. 어디서 찾아야 된다는 거야?
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
이게 어렵네. 뭐 할 데가 없는데? 뭐 할 게 있나? 한번 해봤자 없는데.
This place is an object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
Mr. Holmes?
아니구나. 아, 뭘 찾아야 하는가? 죽겠네. 증거가 어디 있을까? 이상한 소리가 나는구만. 아주 이상한 소리가 나고 있어. 망했어. 뭘 더 할 수가 없는데 지금? 그냥 정원 해봤자 뭐 잘 손질된
It
정원이건
seems that the
이러겠군.
garden was well maintained.
여기 안에서 다 해결해야 되는데 더 이상 찾을 게 없는데 뭐지? 뭐가 있는 거지? 이거 하나밖에 없는데.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken
그러니까
from here.
어떻게
It was larger
바꾸는
than
거야?
a book. A box
추리어 이제
or
더
a
못해요.
small chest, perhaps.
추리를 할 수가 없어요. 여기서 신발까지 찾았는데 신발 이외에 찾을 게 없는데 지금 할 게 없어. 더 없어. 아니다. 탭을 눌러서 지금 안 되는 거야. 누군가 찾아와서 저 사람을 죽였는데 장화를 찾아야 된다는 얘긴가? 더 이상 없어. 보고도 없고 저기 위에 있던 양철 머시기도 없고. 어디서 찾아? 안 보이는데. 난 어딨나?
Have you finished it?
얘한테 말 걸면 저 얘기밖에 안 하고. 장소는 한정돼 있고 증거는 없고.
Mr. Holmes?
미스터 홈즈 이러고만 있고. 아, 어디로 가야 돼?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
그냥 깔끔히 선질된 정원이라고만 하지. 그래서 어디 있는데? 여긴 들어갈 수도 없고. 시끄럽기만 하고. 인내심을 가지고 찾아와야 되는데 찾기에는 너무 한정적인데? 이건가? 이거 뭐야? 자전거라니. 자전거라니. 아, 멀미날 것 같아. 돌아다니다 보니까 멀미날 것 같고.
Who could do such a thing?
얘는 더 이상 할 말이
Your
없고
husband.
아이폴 허즈밴드라고 하는데 여긴 들어갈 수도 없고 못 들어가고. 아무것도 없어. 단서로 될 만한 게 아무것도 없는데 나보고 뭘 어떡하라는 거야. 발자국밖에 없는데 여기서 더 뭘 더 찾아야 된다고? 집안에 아무것도 없는데? 어떤 걸 찾으라는 거야. 여기 내용물을 조사하라는 거야. 할 만한 게 없어! 이거밖에 없는데, 도구. 아무것도 없어.
The murder weapon. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years
Yes.
1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
여기에 놓여있던 걸 찾아야 되는데 없어. 여기 안에는 없는 것 같은데. 침대도 뭐 볼만한 거 없어. 상자 안 돼. 여기 아무것도 없고 물웅덩이 해봤자 없고. 시체 보면은 똑같은 얘기하고. 알아
This
나도.
man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
뭐 없는데.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
열어볼 수 없나 이거? 저거 하나 빼면은 아무것도 없네. 각인 빼면은 없어. 아 그지 같네. 저 빼면 아무것도 없어. 다음으로 넘어가려면은 뭘 어떻게 해야 되는지 모르겠네. 아 저 뭘 찾든가 해야 되는데 없어. 이건 뭐야? 아 고통스럽다. 신발까지 제조해봤는데 없어. 신발. 누구의 신발일까?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
망했어. 이거 바꿀 수 있다는데 뭐야 이거? 뭘 누른 거야? 그 바꿀 수 있는 사람이 없어. 그래서 못 바꿈. 그러면은 저 할머니한테 가야 되나? 아, 근데 그럴 리가 없을 텐데. 누구로 바꿔야 된다는 거야? 사람이 이렇게 많은데? 네 명인가 보네. 아, 증거 저렇게
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
떠나지도 못하네. 오, 1인칭으로 할 수 있다.
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
뭘 더 해야 되나? 볼 게 없는데. 이러다 방종하는 거 아니야?
Rum. A sailor's drink. Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this glass recently.
다시 한번 꼼꼼하게 체크를.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Hammerfest. Dundee. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
여기서 막혔어. 뭘 해야 될지 모르겠다.
Have you finished?
물어볼 사람이 없어. 갈 데도 없고. 하... 어디서 뭘 찾아야 되는지 모르겠네. 망했어. 말 걸 사람도 없어. 들어갈 수도 없고. 들어갈 수가 없는데? 아이씨. 왜 들어가지 못하게 하냐. 야, 놓친 게 있나? 더 이상 말을 걸 사람이 없어.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
뭐야 저거. 뭐 이상한 거 있다. 하, 어디서 뭘 찾아야 돼? 어디서 뭘 찾아야 되냐고. 장화를 찾아야 되는 건지. 안에 들어갈 수도 없고. 아, 난 너무 힘들게. 들어갈 수 없나? 아, 들어갈 수가 없네. 아, 들어 누워 있고 싶다. 할 수가 없네. 할 수가 없어. 사람아.
Mr. Holmes?
그냥 저기서밖에 뭐 할 수밖에 없는데 할 수 있는 게 없어요. 정원 조사하게 하면은 뭐 정원이 깨끗이 손질되어 있군.
The garden was well
이러질
maintained.
않나.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Have you finished inspecting the crop?
뭘 안 둘러봤으니까 자꾸 이런 말 하는 거 아니겠어? 그걸 어디서 찾아? 할 데가 없는데. 볼만한 데가 없는데. 쉣. 얼굴. 개뚫린
The
흉부.
weapon. Peter
닭살.
Carey was impaled to the wall.
나 힘들다.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not
연식권.
caught.
이런 거는 다 아무것도 안 되고. 피용덩이 해봤자 시체 조사하기밖에. 수첩도 가져가면은 저거 뭐 이니셜이 어쩌고 저쩌고 그 얘기밖에 안 하고. 저 뭐 상자를 찾든가 장화를 찾든가 해야 되는 거 아니야?
Rum, a sailor's drink.
못 찾아. 아, 진짜. 그래 눕고 싶다. 거지 같구만. 뭐가 있는데 지금? 여기?
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
침대는 아무도 안 보는 거야? 할 수가 없구만. 볼 수 있는 게 없는데 어떻게 하라는 거야?
I cannot leave yet.
조사를 끝내지 못했대. 조사를 어떻게 끝내야 되는 거지? 양철 상자를 찾으라는 얘긴가? 이게 어딘 줄 알고? 없는데 안 보이는데? 오두막에 있다고? 왜 이거 오두막 아니야? 여긴가? 여기도 아닐 텐데. 여긴 뭐야 근데? 여긴 뭐야? 창고인가? 들어갈 수가 없잖아. 오두막에 있대. 오두막에 있는데? 팩보다 조금 큰 양철 상자. 근데 감쪽같이 없어.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
이렇게 한 다음에 찾아야 돼. 인물 바꾸기. 어. 오케이. 작법을 잘 모르니까 다시 갈게요. 내 손가락. 들어 누워 있고 싶다. 그냥 영화 틀어놓고 들어 누워 있고 싶다. 졸려. 급 졸립군. 볼 수 있다는데. 왜? 봤는데? 상상력 펼치기. 인물 바꾸기. 함정으로서의 재능. 달리기. 인물 바꾸기 안 되는데. 이게 상상력이라고? 모르겠다. 어떻게 하라는 거야? 어떻게 쓰라는 거지? 사람을 바꾸는 거 아니야? 상상력 모시기도 있었는데. 잠깐만. 상상력 펼치기 F. Q 인물 바꾸기. 상상력 행동 실행하기 행동 선택하기. 이걸로 해서 상상력을 실행시키라는 건가? 어떻게 하라는 거야? 상상력을 어떻게 하라는 거지? 이거 뭐 어떻게 하는지 모르겠어요. 개 어이없네. 어렵다. 이걸로 뭐 하라는 것 같은데? 그렇게 한 다음에 찾아야 되는 건가? 어떻게 사용하는 거야? 아, 이걸 어떻게 알아? 안 되겠다. 오늘 짤방 해야겠다. 들어 누워 있어야겠어. 아, 모르겠어.
JHN.
아니요, 키가 이렇게 알려줬는데 행동 실행하기, 행동 선택하기가 있는데 뭐야 이거? 움직이기, 걷기, 달리기, 도움말. 아, 도움말도 있구나. F1. 아, 조작법을. 야, 거지 같은. 아, 더 이상 진전이 되질 않는구만. 아, 노몽이 오늘 일찍 방종해야겠다. 몇 시간 했지? 1시간밖에 안 했네. 아니야, 오늘 누멍이 노래뱅은 너무 열심히 했어. 제 생각에는 이걸로 뭘 해야 되는 것 같거든요. 이 상상력 펼치기인지 뭔지. 근데 뭘로 상상력을 펼쳐? 어떻게 하는 건데? 이거를 뭐 체크를 해야 되는 뭐 뭐가 있어야 체크를 하지. 아, 이걸 뭐 어떻게 해야 되나? 이게 어떻게 하는지 내가 어떻게 알아? 아, 짜증. 시름시름. 아, 너무 힘들당. 아, 피로해지고 있어. 없어. 단서가 어떻게 하는지 모르겠어. 아, 방종해야겠어. 어쩔 수 없다. 너무 힘드니까 방종해야겠다. 아니, 상상력 펼치기 어떤 건지 나 알려줘. 알려줘. 그런지 모르겠어. 아니, 뭐 단서가 있어야 상상력을 펼치든 말든 하는 거 아닌가? 단서도 없는데 어떻게 상상력을 펼쳐? 장화를 찾거나 뭘 해야 되는 것 같은데 뭘 해야 되는지 모르겠어.
The ship's logs of the sea
왜 이렇게
Unicorn
졸립냐?
for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
항해일지는 볼 수 없는 건가? 손가락이 너무 아파.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
뭐라는 거야?
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
할 수가 없어. 갇혔어. 그냥 갇힌 거나
It seems
마찬가지야.
that the garden was well maintained.
없어. 알걸 사람이.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
여기 왜 못 들어가지? 일을 잘 하고 싶긴 한데 이거 약국을 모르겠네. 어떻게 하라는 거야? 아무것도 볼 수 있는 게 없어. 아이 추워라.
These footprints.
프린트. 저는 더 이상 가망이 없습니다. 공략 같은 걸 봐야 되나? 나도 이것만 찾아봐야겠다. 셜록 홈즈. 단서 조합을 하라고? 단서를 조합할 수 있나 봐. 단서 조합. 이건 단서 조합을 어떻게 해? 단서 조합이 안 돼. 너무 수가 없네.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
아니 왜 안 돼? 단서 아직 필요한 건가? 뭐지? 아니 증거 뭐 하는 게 있는데 안 돼요. 강화를 대봤는데 안 되는데.
These footprints appear.
아직 뭐가 부족한 거야? 다 했는데.
Who could do so?
아이씨. 장난해? 수첩도 했고 이것도 했고 왜 안 돼? 야, 버그인가? 아 짜증나. 돌아갔다가 다시 게임 메뉴. 왜 안 되는 거야? 일단 이어가긴 해보자. 새로운 단서를 발견했을 경우 추리 영역 아이콘이 활성화됩니다. 아니 근데 아씨 뭘 해야 되는 거야?
Who could do?
망했나봐. 왜 난 안 되지? 한반에서 없어진 상자. 떨어진 칼과 수첩 확인. 확인했는데? 뭐야 도대체. 저는 확인했고. 한반에서 없어진 상자.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
아직 뭐가 부족하다는 얘긴데.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
이게 끝이야. 버그야 뭐야? 됐다. 됐다. 열렸네.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
연장할. 열었다 드디어. 됐어. 침입자가 있었다. 그리고 스톱. 뭐야? 뭐야? 여기 침입자가 현장으로 도할 것에 대비하여 매복 작전을 준비하기로 했다. 드디어 됐어.
Ha! Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us. This window is locked from the inside. I do not see any attempt at a break-in. This looks like the perfect hiding place.
드디어. 다음으로 넘어가는. 밤이다.
Shh. Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there!
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes.
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
말할 기회를 안 주네.
But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
모함입니다요.
You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
쉽지 않구만.
Locked. Locked.
증거실이 어디? 아니고. 야, 에비던스 여기구나. 오.
These are the suspect's belongings. A handkerchief with the initials JHN. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin. These abbreviations mean something, but what? From R. Dawson. To my friend and partner, 1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
왜 이러는 거야? 뚜루루. 와타시 서제스.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need. That is not. That is not the one. That is not the one I need.
백과사전이 아닌데?
That is not. That is not the one I. That is. That. That is not the one I need.
백과...
That is. That is not. That is. That is not the. That is not. That is not the one. That is. That is. That is not. That is not. That is. That is not. That is not. That is not the. That is not the
아, 신문.
That is not the one I need.
여기 있다. 도슨 넬리건 투자 신탁 파산하다. 넬리건은 실종되어 코널 지방에 공갈뒀던 도슨 앤 넬리건 투자 신탁은 떠하는 빚을 감당하지 못한 채로 파산 신청했으며 지분 매각을 통해 빚을 청산한다고 발표했다. 영국 내에서 23번째로 큰 은행이었으며 기록상으로는 두 번째로 큰 규모의 파산 절차라고 전해진다. 코널 지방의 유지들에게는 크나큰 악재가 닥친 셈이다. 은행주였던 주슈아 넬리건은 행방불명 상태다. 노르웨이로 항해를 준비하던 모습이 마지막으로 목격되었으며 현재 경찰 병력과 채권자들 그를 수배하고 있다.
뭐요?
아, 몰라요.
Here it is.
뭐요?
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder.
나도 뭘로
It is time to ask him.
빨리 들어눕고 싶다. 들어눕고 싶구만. 아, 방종을 일찍 하고 그러 누워 있을까? 아, 너무 힘들다. 내일 손가락에 멍들 것 같아요. 친구가 침 놔줬는데, 아이씨, 그 침 하나를 약간 아프게 나가지고, 아, 오늘 침 맞은 곳에 다 피남. 야.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure.
조슈아
Dawson had
넬리건.
retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again.
그 고래잡이가 이
We
아빠
believe
아니야?
that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh no, I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
셜록 홈즈 되게 느끼하게 생겼다.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often
Cleaning
while
fish.
working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and
씨, 뭐야. 왜 이래.
Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance. I need to stage a reconstruction. I am sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
뜨뜨르뜨. 실험도 해야 돼요. 왓슨스와 대화를.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
What?
Are you serious?
Are you
But we do
serious?
need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We
Oh.
require the carcass of
네
a
손가락이
well-fed pig.
떠지는
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
히터의 오두막에 가서 가지고 와야 돼. 지금 정말 진심으로 누워 있고 싶어요. 진심으로 뒤져 누워 있고.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the...
긴장할. 아, 누워있으면 또 잠들 것 같아. 요즘 너무 피곤해. 왜 이렇게 피곤할까? 아, 운동해야
Well,
되는데.
here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
한 방에 끝내자, 한 방에. 아이씨, 뭐.
Holmes, you should try to aim better.
아이.
The harpoon has struck the body.
아, 졸라게 어려워.
Holmes, you should try.
졸라게 어려워. 됐나? X에 안 닿았는데도 그냥 되는.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
아이씨. 왜 이러는 거야 도대체. 자꾸 삭제가 되는구만. 아, 또 내려가겠다. 뭐야. 멈췄어. 멈췄어. 아, 게임 꺼졌어. 아, 방종을 하라는 의미인가? 이렇게 되면은 방종을 하라는 의미인가? 그런 것인가? 꺼졌다는 건 방종을 하라는 의미인가? 유후. 아, 왜 꺼져?